Welcome back,
back.
Grandville. We are at our last season of the game, Hudsonville versus Grandville. Hudsonville is an 8-0 team, undefeated, on top of the OK Red, and we have Grandville, who's a 4-4 team, who's been struggling these last 2 weeks with a loss from Grand Haven and to East Kenwood at home. Matthew, you are my co-host tonight, and how do you feel about tonight's game going into a big rivalry here, especially a veterans game and a senior night here? How do you feel about it?
Definitely a big game, senior night. Good team from Hudsonville. Really, the Dogs are going to have to pull up an upset to be able to get this out. I think the players are preparing to run out of the tunnel in a few moments. So we will cut ourselves off. Oh, right now, here we go. The Bulldogs are in town, and it's Veterans Night, and I think they're ready to shock some people tonight.
No, yeah, for sure. You want to shock this team. Hudsonville has been a big rivalry to us. We unfortunately lost them twice last year. Regular season was 35-16, and then in playoffs we lost 19-16 just by a field goal last second, which was unfortunate. But yeah, you want to shock the world here. Hudsonville has been making a lot of highlights. Some of their stuff has gone on Barstool the last couple weeks, like Real Barstool and ESPN highlights. So they're a big team right now, and they're third in the state in Division I and in regular. And they're one in Grand Rapids, and Grand Rapids is a big area for football.
Yep. Special treat for viewers tonight. We have a flyover during the national anthem, so obviously we won't be talking during that. But our camera crew will be put on the jets that I believe are flying over the north side of the field, and then the south side and back over is what I'm pretty sure is happening. And our camera crew will try our best to stay on those jets during the national anthem.
Yeah, I just want to go into it. Grandville has struggled these last 2 weeks against Grand Haven and East Kentwood. What did we struggle on that we should work on towards this game, Matthew?
Really just have to be consistent on offense. Not much else besides that. Our defense has been playing really well, in my opinion. But truly it's just being consistent on offense. I believe we are preparing for the national anthem, so we will be off the mics for a few minutes, but we hope this flyover goes well.
Welcome the Kent County Metro Guard, composed of the 9 different agencies across Kent County. The Honor Guard is carrying the flags today representing the United States, the state of Michigan, and the Kent County unit flag. The streamers attached to the unit flag bear the names of all those that have died in the line of duty in Kent County. The purpose of this game is much more than football. We're also excited to be gathered here tonight to share our gratitude and appreciation for all our active duty servicemen and women and our veterans. As everyone is standing, we ask that take a look to the north. Soon, we will be having our flyover. We'd like to thank the hooligans for providing the flyover for tonight. 2 Warbirds. One of the aircrafts was flown by John Workman from Muskegon, flying the T-34, used by the Air Force in the 1950s to train pilots. The other is flown by Bill Klundel from Grand Haven, flying the L-17, used in the 1940s as a liaison aircraft to transport officers. Ladies and gentlemen, we do live in the greatest nation on the face of this earth. And it is time to honor this great nation with the playing of our national anthem. If everyone who is able, please rise and look to the north. You will see those beautiful stars and stripes known as our nation's flag. It is time to honor this nation and that gorgeous flag with the playing of our Star-Spangled Banner. Please join the Grandville High School Marching Band and all military veterans and active duty members. We'd be honored. Every single person in the stadium would be honored if you rendered the military salute. Ladies and gentlemen, under the direction of Mr. Ross Huber, this is your Star-Spangled Banner. Best song ever. And Grandville, Hudsonville.
We are just a few moments now away from kickoff. I hope you could see that flyover at home. The Bulldogs won the coin toss, and they deferred to the second half, so they'll be kicking off to the Eagles to start off the game. Spencer, what do you want to see out of the Bulldogs defense to start the game off?
Yeah, I want to see us blitz hard. You know this quarterback, if you give him time, he's going to make big plays. I don't know if a lot of you guys have been on the internet recently, but number 11 on Hudsonville made a very impressive catch a couple weeks ago against Rockford and has been all over the internet. And you know how big he is for that team, and if you can shut him down, you can shut down a lot of the Hudsonville offense. They're a big pass team, but they have a great running back too. I'm not overshadowing that dude. But if you can stop the quarterback and those wide receivers, you're gonna have a great game. But you can't give the quarterback time. You can't give the quarterback time.
Yeah, definitely a good passing offense. So we're gonna have to see how corners like Jaden Brown, Josh Crater, a couple of the younger guys, linebackers, and Keegan Kroll, and really a lot of people. Wyatt Kalenda's got to guard well. Hudsonville's strong all across the board.
Yes,
tight end.
Wyatt Kalenda back off IR this week. First week he's been got injured in the Caledonia game, so he's been out for 4 or 5 weeks. So hopefully we're going to see a lot of production out of him. Even though he's a small guy, he can get on in those big plays well.
Yep. Now we're turning back to the main camera. Kickoff is about to be underway. Number 34, the freshman Luke Mulder once again is kicking off in place of the senior Owen Vasquez.
It is 7 o'clock on a Friday night here in West Michigan. Let's play some high school football.
Here we go.
Kicks it back to the end zone all. Probably got like a 15-yard bounce there. It was a little interesting. It was kind of a line drive type of kick, but got to the end zone. I think the return man for Hudsonville was waiting for it to bounce out of bounds, but regardless, pretty good start there for the freshman Luke Mulder, pinning the Eagles back, not letting them return the ball.
Starting quarterback for Hudsonville tonight, number 18, he is Brady Finlake. 1st and 10, Hudsonville.
Two wide receivers on both sides of the field for Hudsonville to start off the game. Here's a pistol position.
Handoff here. Looks to have lost a yard. Keegan Kroll comes in there, flies in, and makes a great tackle to amount to a loss of 1 yard for the Eagles.
Yeah, this is exactly what I wanted to see from this Grandville defense to start off the game. You want to be blitzing hard. You want to make sure that quarterback's going to have time, and if that running back is going to run, make sure that you're going to stop him here and stuff him.
Too wide towards the close side of your screen. Truly, I don't know who the corners are, but Van Lake here runs.
Run from the quarterback.
Big hit there by number 8, Cam Leonard. He's another one of those seniors who was recognized tonight on senior night. He's had a good career here for Grandville, and obviously is hoping to upset the crosstown rivals in Hudsonville in the last home game of the season for the Bulldogs.
Yeah, because next week we have playoffs too, and we don't know exactly who we're playing yet. We might play Hudsonville again. It might be a back-to-back battle between Hudsonville. So if you lose this week, hopefully you can maybe bounce back next week in the playoffs, but you would like to have a win going into playoffs here.
Van Lake under center, takes a snap, looks left, rolls right, is going to keep it. Looks to have got it by about 4 yards. Dogs are going to have to do something about Van Lake scrambles here. I mean, that's 2 already for positive gains. Not huge gains, but still, when you have such good coverage downfield and your corners and Kalenda and Brown are doing such a good job downfield, you really need to step up in the front there to not allow those QB scrambles.
Yeah, for sure. That's exactly why maybe we put a QB spy there.
Definitely an athletic guy there. Believe he plays basketball. I might be mistaken, but he's an athletic quarterback for sure. Hands it off here to Harzma.
Tackle by number 55, Evan Willman.
Evan Wyman there, another senior. So we're going to see a lot of seniors on this defense making plays because truly majority of the players out there are all seniors.
Yeah, our defense is a very heavy senior team.
The nose tackle closest to you on your screen, number 70, Grant Motzke, is the only junior I see right now for the Bulldogs defense. Besides that, I believe it's all seniors. Van Lake back under center now. Looks left. Throws to Weber. Weber fights through a few tackles and gets it to about a 3rd and 1. Third down and 1 here. The Bulldogs coaches are signaling for the strong package, which means a lot more up front, a lot more linebackers, a lot more meat in the line there to try and hopefully stuff what they expect to be a run. They have to still be careful, though, because it looks like Braylon Miller and Lawson Weber are both still going to be lined up out wide. So regardless of the short yardage, they still could be looking for a pass here. Handoff. A great.
What a tackle by Daniel Wiley to get that play done. What a big senior, big team captain of this defense and offense. one of our guards. He's one of our tackles. He just does a great job in everything here. And he's a spark plug for this team, too.
Yeah, second-year captain. So if you think about that, junior as a captain on the football team is quite an impressive feat. Seemed like a pretty generous spot there by the line judges to give Hudsonville that first down, but regardless, they must have seen something a little closer up with the ball, maybe a stretch. But regardless, Van Lake with a new set of downs. Hands it back off to Harzma once again, and the Bulldogs line is playing amazing so far against that run game of the Eagles.
And here comes Daniel Wiley back out to strengthen that D tackle, the O-line, or I mean D-line, sorry.
Talking about it again, that junior Grant Motzke had a good tackle there. I believe he was credited with the tackle, or at least the first contact. But he's a strong player. He was on varsity last year. He was one of, I believe, only 3 sophomores on varsity. Van Lake with another pass here. Caught by 26, Vanderveen, and Vanderveen is just off.
Gets to the 15-yard line. This is what the dangerous part of Hudsonville's offense is their wide receivers are very easy to break those tackles and get some extra yardage.
Definitely some very elusive guys there. Levi Vanderveen, I feel like, if I remember, he's had some big catches. Flag here, what I believe is on just an official's timeout. The ball had not been set yet, so obviously that's a problem with subs and whatnot.
Here you got 5 on the line here. Never mind, go switch back to 4.
Van Lake with the handoff to Webster. Harzma, apologies. Harzma gets stuffed once again. Really for these Bulldogs defense, we just have to worry about this passing offense, because the run game seems to no avail so far.
Yeah, we got a 2nd and 8 on the 13. We got 2 on the far side, 1 on the close side.
Van Lake getting the call in with what looks like Coach Pohl running the offense for under Brent Sendy. Van Lake hands it off to Harzma once again. Harzma stopped once again on the line.
What a job by this Grandville defense right now. They knew they had to stop this run game, and they're stopping one section of the game. Now we just got to work on this passing game, and we can maybe have a little bit of control in this game.
Let's talk about Coach Brent Sandy for the Eagles. Already won state championship for him under the with the Eagles, and almost had another one last year, but came up short to Cass Tech. So truly, he's put together an amazing program there for the Eagles.
Oh, for sure. Definitely big improvement.
Van Lake rolls out right.
Years.
Looks to pass, has nothing. Gets swarmed by a bunch of dogs.
Tackled by number 50, Daniel Wiley. He is electric.
I believe Haney was there with the first contact, and now he's limping off, which is never a great sign. But Wiley was able to finish that tackle. Now coming in for Haney is number 20, the sophomore Isaiah Weems.
This is exactly what a big thing we didn't say about before the game is we got a lot of sophomores coming up to play this game. They did a really good job yesterday against the JV team for Hudsonville. I think Grandville came out with the win for the JV team, if I'm not mistaken. So if we win this game, I think we have the sweep because freshmen won that game, the freshman game.
Now number 33, the kicker for the Eagles, Alex Tolotson, up for the kick, and it does not look good from here, and is no good, pushed wide
there we
right.
Go. Big play.
That is a stop for the Bulldogs defense, whether they have it or not. But that is a huge stop for the Bulldogs, as they gave up a huge, 50-yard play and were able to stop them.
This is exactly what we are looking for from this Grandville defense, and this is a big switch in momentum, especially if we're playing against an undefeated team that has been our rival for years and years to go, and here it is, a team that beat us in the playoffs last year, and a lot of people say if we didn't lose to them in the playoffs, we could have went out to play the state Cass Tech in the state championship, and we never know what's going to happen there because we played Cass Tech week 2 this year and lost to them in overtime. We have a similar team this year.
Yes, and truly should have won that game. Vogelslonger under center now. Hands it off to
DJ
Hardiman,
Hardiman.
and he gets swarmed at the line for a gain of maybe 2 yards. But again, with that Cass Tech game, I mean, we talked about it before, but we were in field goal range, and our kicker unfortunately did not have his mouth guard in, which is a new rule in the MHSAA, that if you don't have your mouth guard in, you have to sit out for the entirety of the drive. So that made him ineligible to kick that, regardless if Stiegel had called a timeout or not. And our backup kicker was not able to get warmed up soon enough. And Stiegel didn't even think very far to put the backup kicker in, so we ended up just going on it, almost getting it, but not overall.
Nick Bedina.
Vogelslager rolls it out.
Carter Jars. No. Yeah, Carter Jarsma with the catch. Big play by Carter Jarsma here. Had that big play last week. Had a couple touchdowns already this season. I think one against Caledonia, one against Grand Haven.
There
That's
is
a junior
flag
that has been
on the back half of the field. That is unfortunate if it comes back on the Dogs, but it could be the Eagles. It is just a sideline warning for the Bulldogs, so nothing too serious, but the Bulldogs sideline must have been pretty fired up there to get that big gain. But I'm glad it's nothing that brings the Dogs back at all, as they have the ball now on the 34-yard line heading into Hudsonville territory.
Yeah, just as I was saying, Carter Jarsma, one of the big juniors for this Grandville offense and Grandville defense. He doesn't play a lot of reps on defense, but when he does, he makes a big impact.
Vogelslonger back under center after big play. Hands it off to Hopewell. Jordan Terry. How about that? Number 28, Jordan Terry, the freshman, brother of, obviously, Tank Terry, gets his first varsity carry. I didn't even realize he was on the roster sporting the number 28.
Yeah, he's only an inch shorter than his brother. He weighs only 30 pounds less than his brother, and he's a freshman. His brother is a senior that's committed to Fair State. Pretty big program over there. We talked about them a couple times this year.
Hand off to Hardiman there. The junior gets about a yard, maybe. But I didn't even realize that Jordan Terry was on the lineup.
I guess that's someone we just didn't look at over the lineup. But we did say earlier in the game that there's a lot of guys coming up to play for this varsity team because this is the last game, last home game of the season for sure. You never know.
How many injuries we have, yeah.
Yes.
Vogelslonger under center now. Obviously have to pick up a good chunk of yardage here to salvage the drive. Hands off to Hopewell. Hopewell's looking to break it outside. Makes a man miss. Gets it at least first down, probably by a yard. Gets the first down by what looks like to be spotted 2 yards past the marker, which, how about that speed by Hopewell on the edge?
Yes, for sure. He was a big guy who came and played for us last week. That was the second varsity game for Hopewell, and Hopewell's made a big impact on this team. Especially, he made a pretty good catch last week and a couple good runs, so this is good to see him transferring all that skills into a next week's game against a big rival here.
And this Grandville team is truly showing that they still have that youth. They still have that that ability to run the wing T, even without Tank Terry. I mean, if we look at it, we've got a lot of young running backs who are still developing, who will be good players for the Bulldogs. Speaking about young players, Hopewell gets the ball there, and I believe gets half a yard, maybe just gets to the line.
Yeah, but talking about those injuries on this Grandville team, we have so many. And looking down now, number 6 on the Grandville offense is going down with an ankle injury right now. He just got wrapped, so hopefully we'll see him come back in this game. But if not, we have the youth to fill in for him.
We might not. That's number 6, Braylon Haney. He is a starter on both offense and defense. He's a starting linebacker and a starting running back. So filling those shoes is going to be a difficult task, but hopefully the Bulldogs are able to do that as Vogelslonger hands it off to Jordan Terry. And he gets about 2 yards.
3rd and 8 for the Grandville offense on the 21.
sets up another third down here. Converted last time, but do you think we're in field goal range for Luke Mulder?
I haven't seen much from Luke Mulder this year. We only see him on really kickoffs, but for what I've heard in practice, he's a decent kicker, and I think give him the shot here. We had to stop on defense. Let's see what he can do if we have the opportunity here.
I mean, he's a tall kid, 6'2", 165. So he has, just from that build, you could assume he has a leg.
Well,
Hand off to Jordan Terry as he gets tripped up, but they'll give him the first down, is what it looks like. Yep, they get the first down with the freshman Jordan Terry, or perhaps not. The line judge seems to, nope, they do give it to him. The line judge on the close side of your screen was having some interesting communication there. But we'll see here now what the Dogs do with the new set of downs.
This is big for the Grandville offense. This is what we needed to start off the game like. We needed to come out with full pressure and a lot of energy, and this is what this Grandville offense is. This O-line is doing a great job here. Unfortunately, Brandon Hanley looks like he's going to be out for a little bit.
Another handoff to Terry. Looks like he gets 3 yards.
That's going to be a 2nd and 8 on the 11 for the Grandville offense. Looks like the quarter ends here, and we're going to go on the other side of the field.
Yep, quarter end here, so now we will be heading down to the student section end, which is obviously always where we want to be driving towards.
Oh, yeah, for sure. Something we've talked about a little bit during the season is our student section hasn't had the most energy. We came into last week with a lot of energy, and as you can see right now, we're not actually showing it, but on the bottom right side of your screen, you can see our student section is electric right now. And that's something you want. That's something we've talked about. And if you've listened to the Suburban, it's a podcast we have here at Grandville. A lot of AV students are on it. Daniel Wiley had a good one last year. He was talking about actually a game against Hudsonville he had last year where he was talking about the student section really hypes him up. And for him to be the spark plug of this Grandville offense, we need the student section to be hyping him up so Daniel Wiley can hype up the team. So for any of you Grandville students out there who are listening, please keep the student section electric because this team needs it.
Yep, and the Bulldogs will have the ball on the 11 with a 2nd down and 8. So we can still pick up that first down. It's not end goal territory yet. And with the way we've been running the ball, I wouldn't be surprised if Stiegel ends up and pulls some type of bootleg play action with the senior quarterback, Fogelslonger.
Red Caledonia is up to 7-0 on Jenison. That's a big game we've been paying attention to. That really determines playoff position and where we're going to be playing next week. Of course, this game does involve that too.
Fogelslonger under center now. Takes a snap. Rolls out. Throws it to number 2, Keegan Kroll. I'm not going to say I told you so, but I told you so.
Big play. Here we go. Grandville has the energy, has momentum. Let's keep it like this.
Now, how about that call by me? Not trying to toot my own horn or anything.
No, you're.
But did
you're
I
right.
not? Did I not just say I would not be surprised if Stiegel pulls a bootleg out with the way we've been running the ball?
That's exactly what we need. And we used a lot of that on our 2-point conversions last year, and it worked pretty well. It worked well against Hudsonville last year, so hopefully we can keep running this, and it's going to work all game long.
Yep. And now it looks like the senior, Owen Vasquez, will be on for the extra point. So that is right down the middle.
Perfect. Big play. And kind of going back to what you said about him and Cass Tech, there was a lot of plays in that game where we could say this is the reason why we lost, this is the reason why we lost. And I think the one that we really talk about is that last-second field goal that we didn't kick. The thing about the mouth guard is it was in his top helmet, but it wasn't in his mouth. And the refs didn't call that all game long, so a lot of people have been mad about that. But we had a lot of chances in the red zone and earlier in the game where we didn't score.
Yep.
So I want to say that he shouldn't be getting all the heat for this loss against Cass Tech.
Yeah.
I know he's been getting a lot of that, and as a guy who's been in a couple classes with him, I apologize to him every single time that it happens. But we had a couple times in OT where we could have made some stops or made a play.
Yeah, I believe the number was 4 and goal 4th down stops for the technicians.
Yeah.
Which is never acceptable.
Yeah, I don't know if you were at the game, but I was at Cass Tech, and there was a last-second play in overtime where DJ Hardman was short on 4th goal, and that's kind of just
I think
what we want to see.
you can find that play anywhere. I mean, if you search up on YouTube Cass Tech versus Grandville, the first video you'll see is that play. I believe he was like half a yard short of picking up a 4th and 12 with about 5 seconds left or something crazy that would have ended up setting up that game-winning field goal again. But how about this? We're kicking off with the freshman Luke Mulder, but kicking our extra points with the senior Owen Vasquez.
Yeah, very interesting here, but I know that we've been talking about we want to actually defend on the kickoff, and we've been looking for a strip, like the strip stats. Oh, little fight over there. But yeah, kind of what I'm saying. We want to. A lot of them we've been kicking out of bounds for a touchback or something like that. We want to defend a little bit on these kickoffs because Hudsonville has had a struggle with catching some of the short kicks, like the squibs and stuff. So we're trying to find that weakness in this Hudsonville kicking team or kickoff team.
Yeah, and another thing, I don't really know what we were thinking there with that squib kick. Obviously, we've gotten onside kicks against teams like Cass Tech and I believe Rockford. But that wasn't even an onside kick. That was just kind of kick it to one of their lead blockers and hope that he squibs it or something. But we pinned them back to their 20 last time, and now we're asking the freshmen to just squib it down to their 30. Regardless, Van Lake with the throw and throws it to what looks like a coach in a yellow sweatshirt.
Yeah, the pass was definitely intended to number 11 on Hudsonville. Looks like he just didn't get there in time, and the quarterback and him just didn't have the right play in mind. But it looks like Daniel Wiley is looks like there's going to be an adjustment on the line. Daniel Wiley's coming off.
Wiley hustling off to not get that 12 men on the field. Van Lake under center, pulls it himself on the option and gets taken down by the sophomore Isaiah Weems. How about that speed option there? I honestly like the play call by Coach Pohl for the Eagles offense.
Yes, like we said earlier, great coach. Oh, quick play.
No huddle here, trying to speed him up. Hands it off to Harsman. I think that's the longest carry of the game for him. I believe 5 yards.
Yeah, 5-yard gain. Like we said earlier, we've been stopping that run game pretty well tonight, and looks like they're going to try to start using the pass game a little more often in the run game, a little more outside.
Yeah, I believe the Bulldogs knew that was going to be a run with another carry to Harsma because they were trying to get in their larger line package, but without Hudsonville subbing in any of their other players, Grandville couldn't get a sub in quick enough, therefore making it a lot easier for the Eagles line to push through and get that first down with Harsma. Running it again, though, they only got 2 yards with that hurry-up offense. Van Lake back in the shotgun here. 2 to the left, 1 to the right. Harsma in the backfield. Goes in motion, keeps it himself. Contact against him and runs into his own guy and then gets swarmed by 4 or 5 Bulldogs. And the ball seemed to have come out since the ref threw his blue flag. But regardless, the ball is still in the hands of the Eagles. Definitely don't see that a ton where they just throw the blue flag.
Yeah, it definitely had to be something they saw on the side where like they dropped, the ball came out of his hands. But here we go, Carter Jarsma and Brandon Reese coming on, so some junior help here.
Heavy on the line here. No safety help over the top. So Josh Crater by himself on an island, but they run it regardless. And Harsma gets a yard to set up with another manageable stop for these Bulldogs. I believe it's a 4th and 3. And this is a huge play for Brent Sandy and the Eagles.
And they're not taking these juniors off?
Now they are.
Now they are.
Putting in
Here comes
Wyatt
Daniel Wilder.
Kalenda, Jaden Brown, and Evan Wyman.
We have 4th down and 3 on the 36.
Timeout here for the Bulldogs. Stiegel didn't like something he saw there. With 9 minutes and 16 seconds left in this first quarter, Dogs up 7-0. What a showing by these Bulldog defense so far. I mean, you get the stop on the missed field goal. It wasn't an easy field goal like he just muffed it. I think it was a 30-yard field goal that he missed. And now you've got them in another manageable 4th down and 3 yards.
Yeah.
That the Bulldogs could really end up pulling away with another stop here.
Which is really funny because I feel like every time we play Hudsonville, there's always some issues with a field goal. Freshman year, we watched Hudsonville miss a field goal last second in playoffs and regular season. Last year in the playoffs, Hudsonville made a field goal last second with 3 seconds left in the game. And here we go, another missed field goal here. It feels like it's a common occurrence here. There's always going to be some field goal issues, or it's going to be relying on a field goal. So making them is pretty important. It's always important to make a field goal, but especially when you're playing your division rival.
Jaden Brown there on the close side of your screen trying to hype up the crowd here. Definitely need some crowd noise into this big 4th down play. Try and mess up that connection between Van Lake and Coach Pohl. Van Lake back under in the shotgun there. Harzma to his left. Hands it off to Harzma. And Harzma gets stopped at the line, and that will be the Bulldogs' ball once again with a huge 4th down stop.
And it is electric on the sidelines right now. Big play by Grandville. And now we got to convert. Now we got to go by 14. Now this is where games like this happen. And like we said before the show happened, this is what rivalry is about. You never know who's going to win these games. It's always up. It's like a coin toss. I'm not comparing this to Michigan and Ohio State, but last year, Ohio State was definitely the most favored team in that game, and Michigan came out with the win. Happens in a lot of rivalries. Happens
like
in Arizona.
Michigan State this weekend.
Ooh, big rivalry there. I got Michigan.
Now 9 minutes and 10 seconds left to go. Bulldogs on their own 35. Focus longer under center. If they can convert and get some points, they're getting the ball back to start the second half too. As a handoff to Hopewell and gets a yard. But obviously, we can't say anything too early since it's only the second quarter. But this Bulldogs defense has looked a lot better than the past few games.
And finally, this is what we've been looking for. This is the defense we saw earlier in the season against Muskegon, Cass Tech. Some really great, strong defense on the run game, and we've been pretty well in a pass game, I could say, tonight. I think one of the things I said before the game is we need a blitz to give the quarterback not enough time on the Hudsonville offense, and we've been doing that. I think it's a great job by us.
Vogelslonger back under center here in that power T. Hands it off to Hopewell, and he gets stuffed at the line for a loss of 2. So this is obviously a very important play now. 3rd and 11, ball on your own 34. Total net gain for the drive is -1 yards. And you just can't give the ball right back to this Hudsonville offense after your defense put up an amazing stop there. So with how the pass game has been working, would you be surprised if we pulled out another pass here?
I would love to see us run naked banana. And if you guys don't know what naked banana means, one of our tight end goes 10 yards, our other tight end goes 5 yards. It's a play that we ran pretty well my freshman year and my sophomore year playing football for Grandville. Really great. But here comes Hopewell running out.
Another pass here. Pressure's there.
Oh, almost a catch by
Eagles
Carter Jarsma
in the area, but Jarsma was unable to pull it in. That's something we've had to worry about recently with Vogelslonger under pressure. When that line does not hold up and he gets a big defensive lineman in his face. He's trying to force it in some throws that he doesn't usually make.
Gets really frantic, if that's the right word.
Yep. And now it looks like the sophomore Oren Kuyok will be up to punt the ball away for the Bulldogs. So obviously it's not the ideal scenario. Not the ideal scenario in any way for the Bulldogs. We get a huge stop, and then, a legal substitution here for the Bulldogs. So that brings them back another 10 yards, which is another 10 yards the sophomore Kuyok has to kick the ball.
I don't think it's Kuyok. I think it's Oren. Oh, yeah, Oren Kuyok. I'm sorry. Yes.
Almost blocked. He gets some good spin on the ball, so it's going to carry a decent bit. Puts it to the 39 of Hudsonville. So a net punt of, I think, 45-ish yards, which is not bad to flip the field there a little bit. But, again, giving the ball back to Hudsonville right away is not what you want.
No,
after
not
that
at all.
huge stop, huge possession by the defense. But regardless, you're just going to have the Bulldogs defense step it up once more. Three wide here for Van Lake. Van Lake looks right. Doesn't have anything. Now tries to get to the edge. Throws it to number 11. Lawson Weber, who had a good little option carry earlier in the game. But they pick up, what is 16 yards?
Yeah, he's definitely a player to watch out for. I kind of said earlier before the game that he is one of their better wide receivers, and he's been making a lot of great plays, a lot of plays that caught attention of ESPN and Barstool these last couple weeks.
Van Lake rolls out left, throws across his body, throws it to Weber, and tried to keep that right foot in, but was half in, half out, and that obviously is fully out. Just like my Lang teacher says, when something's half right, it's not half right, it's fully incorrect.
Shout out to Mrs. Osterhaus. But here we go. It's going to be a 2nd and 10 for the Hudsonville offense. Give me 3 on the close side of your screen.
Trips over here. Van Lake almost gets that defensive line to jump. But it looks like they're switching up the play now as they've seen what the Bulldogs are in. No safeties up high. So, a screen here for Van Essen. And breaks one tackle but doesn't get past number 2, the senior Keegan Kroll.
Good play by Keegan Kroll reading that offensive play. That's one of the big parts of him being on our defense is he's really good at reading those plays, and that's one of his strong suits. So we love to have him there. Looks like a pretty big call coming for the defense here. No substitutions, though. Here we go. We got trips on the far side. I wouldn't be surprised if we see another screen pass here.
Van Lake under center, takes a snap, fakes the handoff, throws it to Van Essen, and he gets the first down by a hearty amount, I think 3 or 4 yards, moving the chains. And the Eagles were in the scenario just a few game minutes ago, and the Bulldog defense decided they were going to stand tall on this side of their field. So we're going to see here if this Bulldogs defense has another stand in them, or if the Eagles are going to be able to break through. Van Lake here with a lot of hard counts. I don't think I've ever seen this many in a game. I think he's doing 2 or 3 hard counts every time they're up to the line. Hand off to Harzma. Harzma breaks it for a few, keeps going down, and has a gain of what looks like 15 yards. And that's a surprise by the way we've seen that Grandville defensive line playing so far to see Harzma break through there. I think his average so far is like 3 or 4 yards.
Yeah, that's definitely the longest run he's had all day. Like you said, the Grandville defense has been playing pretty well in that line there. Looks like got trips on the close side of your screen.
Van Lake throws another one of those screens. Jane Brown with a missed tackle. And that's 2 or 3 missed tackles for the Dogs there, as number 11 Weber once again gets another one of those quick passes and gets a few more for this Hudsonville Eagles offense. And this is the most live we've seen from this Eagles offense.
Yeah, it looks like we're stacking up the line a little bit here, making sure that we're going to stop this run play, but be wary of the pass play here. Especially on the far side, number 88, their tight end for Hudsonville, has been really well recently.
Van Lake with the quarterback keeper. He gets hit pretty hard at the line and gains 1 yard to set down that 2nd and goal, 3 yards away from that end zone.
Yeah, you got to be worried this quarterback sneak here, or this quarterback run. He's been pretty well here. Like you said earlier, you think he's a basketball player, so he has that agility that he needs to make these plays.
Motion including the line for Van Lake's offense. Expecting a handoff here to Harzma. Harzma runs behind a few of those Eagles O-linemen. And this sets up a 3rd and goal at maybe the yard line, probably a little closer than that, but obviously can't see from where we're at. Still in that pistol form for the Hudsonville offense, as Van Lake hands it off to Harzma, and Harzma is in for the touchdown for the Eagles, and this will tie up this game tonight.
Yeah, they've been pretty heavily on Harzma recently, these last couple plays, especially being in the goal line. Like I said earlier, let's not undershadow him from his wide receivers, but he is a great player there for this Hudsonville team. It's done really well. Had a pretty big run a couple weeks ago against East Kentwood that put him in position to win the game. Here comes the extra point attempt.
Off the upright and in.
He doinks it in. Like we said earlier in the game, there's been some kicking issues for this Hudsonville team, so that definitely shows a little bit of it. Just an inch or two to the left, and it would not have gone in.
Tillotson on for the extra point there, and earlier in the game, he missed that field goal wide right. But now we're even. Bulldogs have had 2 offensive possessions and have been stopped once, scored once. The Eagles offense has had 3 possessions, been stopped twice, and scored once. Which is what you kind of want here. The Bulldogs are going to get the ball to start the second half. 3:51 left to go in this first half. The Bulldogs could be setting themselves up really well if they can manage to get some points on this drive and not leave enough time left for these Eagles to get another offensive possession. Obviously, you want to keep possessions to as equal as you possibly can. Possession time, yardage, all that stuff. You want to keep that as close as you can because that's what's going to obviously end up leading to points. And the Bulldogs are doing a lot better than I think a lot of people would have assumed heading into this game.
Hudsonville is predicted to win by 16 points tonight. So
wait, 60 or 16?
16.
16, okay, I was about to say. That's a hardy number if we're giving them 60 points.
Yeah, no, they were predicted to win by 16.5 tonight. That was the, not money line because you don't gamble in high school sports, but that was what the prediction was.
Kickoff here, Kuyok with the return. Not many blockers in front of him, but sneaks by to the 24-yard line. If I was a bettor, obviously you can't bet on MHSAA sports or any high school sports, but I would never guess that the Eagles were going to win by 16 points. it's a rivalry game. I mean, you see it in every rivalry in football almost. Like, the players in a rivalry game have another level of fire to them. And, like, I would never guess that they're going to go up by 16 points with how fired up the Bulldogs are to try and pull off an upset.
Yeah, but I also want to talk about our rivalry against Rockford. We did not seem fired up there, so...
No, I think...
In my opinion, from a guy who's played against Rockford and Hudsonville multiple times, I would rather say Rockford is my biggest rival. I would easily say that. But in football, I would say right now Hudsonville is our bigger rival.
Yeah.
Just because how strong Hudsonville is as a team, how they beat us last year in the playoffs and went off to the state championship. So if I'm Grandville here, I want to be fired up. I want to to win this game. I want to end the season or the regular season with a win against probably the third best team in the state.
Yeah. As someone who plays baseball and basketball, I would definitely say Hudsonville is the bigger rival. Have a lot more trash talkers on that side, to say the least. Focus longer out on the pass. Kroll with another catch. Kroll does not get any gain despite that.
We have 3rd and 7 for this Grandville offense.
But Hudsonville kind of has like a entitled cockiness to them. At least in the sports where I've played, especially in basketball. And I mean, they're good school, so I can get where they're going to get that. They beat us in a lot of things. But if I was a player right now, I'd definitely be more fired up to play Hudsonville than Rockford.
Oh, for sure. Just recent years that Hudsonville's been the bigger rival, but you can't undershadow Rockford. Rockford has been dominant forever.
Yeah.
I feel like when I talk about rivalries just in general, I hope, not recently, but I feel like Muskegon's been a big rivalry for us back in the day. Rockford was a big rivalry for us back in the day. But timeout Stiegel. But you want to win this game. And I know, like, you want to win every game, but this game means a lot more. It's senior night. It's Veterans Night. It is just the game that we had circled on the schedule since the first week of games. We want to win this game. And I feel like what we showed against East Kentwood last week showed that we could probably stand a little bit with this team. We did lose to East Kentwood last week in a pretty strong match, but East Kentwood lost to Hudsonville by
a point. A last second
2 weeks ago.
Tipped ball.
Yeah.
In all truth, Hudsonville should be 7-1 right now. There were some clock issues caused by the EK coaching staff that ended up costing them their game. But really, they won the game, and that's all you can. That's all that shows up on the record book. You don't show any clock issues or whatnot. You show wins and losses, and this Eagles team is 8-0 heading into this game, and the Bulldogs are obviously trying to make that 8-1 heading into playoffs. Handoff to Kuyok, his first carry in a game and a half. Didn't get any carries last week against that East Kentwood team. But regardless, it seemed to catch the Eagles' defense. Catch that defense sleeping a little bit as they just ran up the middle for what looked like 12, 13 yards.
Yeah, I would say, like, the handing back off to Kuliok there. I feel like usually in that Kuliok position, we would have DJ Hardiman on the middle running back. And I think that's what caught them off guard because DJ wasn't there. And DJ is usually a bigger guy than Kuliok. He's a faster guy. He's a guy that I've talked to multiple players on different teams, and they want to stop DJ Hardiman. Since Tank has been out, DJ came out of the spotlight, and I'm glad. DJ is very good of a player, and he hasn't had any offers yet, unfortunately. Hopefully, after this game, I know there's a couple scouts in the stands tonight. I know Hope and Calvin are here, but I don't know if DJ wants to go to one of those schools. But it's good that we have some people, some scouts looking at him.
Third timeout here for Stiegel. So obviously did not like what he saw there on that 2nd and 9. Clock ticking for these Bulldogs and Eagles heading into halftime. It's kind of been a quick game so far. 7-7 with 1 minute and 2 seconds left in this second quarter. What do you want to see out of the Bulldogs to hopefully come out with a score here heading into halftime?
We have 0 timeouts left, so I hope that we can maybe get a kind of one more run play up the middle that Kuluk had, break out for a couple yards, 17 yards. Hopefully that's like my goal is 17 to 20 yards and get from that run play. And then we do hopefully a quick pass play, get out of bounds, either get in field goal range or if not, have enough time to throw another pass play and get it. I would say 100% look for Hopewell in these pass plays, look for Carter Jarsman, look for Josh Crater, but I don't know because Steagle's surprised me a lot this year.
Yep.
If I'm Steagle here and it's minus Steagle, I think you're running it here.
Yep. Focus longer under center. I've seen our kicker Vasquez hit from the 35-yard line, so need a good few yards as we hand it off to Jordan Terry. And that's a timeout now for Hudsonville. They had all 3 to go. And with time ticking, setting up a 3rd down, it's definitely an interesting call there to just run the ball up the middle. I would have hoped for something around the edge or something along that lines to try and break a play. Because obviously you've seen like people like Tank Terry break a run through the middle.
Why not try his little brother, though? Let's see what he has.
That's true.
This is his first varsity game. I feel like he has a great mentor of his older brother who has had so much success. He was a first-year varsity player as a freshman. But I will say that is a little confusing why he's running up the middle. I would more trust DJ Hardiman with that, especially because he has such a great spin move. Especially if he gets one guy on, he can spin him off and hopefully get a couple more yards. One of the coaches on Hudsonville just fell on the sideline. Here comes the play.
Focus longer back under center now. 3rd and 8 here. Focus longer hands it off to Jordan Terry. Jordan Terry breaks it to the outside. We just talked about him. He's at the 26-yard line when he gets pushed out. Maybe a little shorter than that. Nope. 25-yard line, even better.
This is exactly what I said earlier. I feel like Jordan Terry is going to be good on the outside, but I don't know if we want him in the inside game. This is what we got 47 seconds left in the clock, and we have time to run 3 more plays here.
Yep.
So,
and I believe we're in Vasquez's range now as he's starting to warm up on the sideline. Focus longer back under center now, sticking true to that run game and that power T offense.
Here goes Hopewell.
Hand off to Hopewell. Hopewell cuts it inside and cuts it all the way to the 22-yard line, which gets us a little closer to that field goal range. Focus longer runs over to Steagle real quick, gets the play in, talks to his offense, gets back under center, and the Bulldogs just look to keep rolling. Hopefully they can catch that Eagles line sleeping a little bit, maybe go outside here.
DJ Hardiman with the run up the
hand
middle.
off to Hardiman. And you are ticking the clock now. You have to go. Focus longer.
I think he's just going to spike it here. He's going to try to spike it with maybe like 5 seconds left on.
Spiked here with 4 seconds left, which looks to set up Owen Vasquez to come onto the field. Yes. Senior Wyatt Kalenda to senior Owen Vasquez. A little pep talk there. Hopefully Vasquez knocks us through here for the Bulldogs. Snap, hold, kick, all good. All you can hope for here if you're the Bulldogs offense. You had a great drive there, converted a few 3rd downs, and now have a chance to go up heading into half, and the Bulldogs will end up getting that ball back. And now Vasquez on for the 39-yard attempt. I've seen him hit from 47 in practice. Obviously, there's going to be some gamemanship here to ice Vasquez. But Vasquez, I've seen him kick 47. I've seen him try and go 50. He came up just short and then just to the left. So he has that leg. But we'll just see if he can make this now. Definitely in his range, definitely has the leg. Experienced soccer player. So he has that ability to kick these longer field goals. Now we just have to see if he can execute here and put it through the uprights.
Yeah, like you said, he's an experienced soccer player. We've seen him get kicked pretty far. I think I'm not scared about him kicking far. I'm scared about the snap here. I'm going to be honest with you. We've seen some issues with the snap a couple weeks ago against Rockford. We've seen some issues last week, but not as badly.
But we have Lincoln Schackemeyer back. He is a 3-star long snapper, so I would really hope that he can put that right on the money for Fogels Longer to get that hold down and Vasquez to put that kick through. Schackemeyer on the snap. Fogels Longer with a hold. Vasquez with a kick. It is hooking, but it is right down the middle, and that will set up the Dogs to go into halftime with a lead that no one expected on the senior veterans night. It is 10-7 for these Bulldogs.
Hate it or love it, the underdogs are on top. And that's what we want to hear. That's what we want to see. The crowd is hyped, and it's time for halftime. We'll have a halftime show. But before that, the marching band's going to be on the field, and I hope you guys enjoy the marching band.
Welcome back. And Spencer, what do you think we have to see for these Bulldogs to stay on top heading into the second half?
Yeah, let's keep it up. I've been saying pregame that we need to blitz well, and we did do blitz well. We gave the quarterback 0 time, and we need to keep that. Our defense is keeping us in this game. Our offense is doing a great job, too. Not as great as a job as we were hoping for, but if the offense stays like this and our defense plays how they played the first quarter and the second quarter, then we have this game in the bag.
Yep.
And we just have to be worried on that defense. Is the quarterback going to have enough time to throw the ball down the field? I don't think he's been doing well on it, and I'm not saying he's not a good quarterback because he's doing really well right now in the OK Red. I just feel like he's been doing a lot of screen passes, and I haven't seen a lot of deep passes. I saw one deep pass, and we stopped it right after that. So I think we're doing pretty well on defense, and I'm pretty happy to hear that. I love to see the new additions on offense. Has been pretty well there. Jordan Terry, freshman, doing really great there. Oren, first run in a couple games, doing really well there. Hopewell, such a great player. I'm glad to see him getting pulled up. Great job at catching the ball. He hasn't done much of that today, but running up the ball is pretty well. So I think we're all around. We're doing pretty well, and that's what we want to see.
Yep. And each team has had 3 offensive possessions so far. The Bulldogs have scored 2 out of 3 with that first possession touchdown and that last-second field goal in that second half. And the Hudsonville offense has scored on 1 with that touchdown, the goal line run by Harzma. But they've been stopped 2 times. Once was on a missed field goal, so that would have made it a tie game going into the start of the second half. But the other one was a straight-up stop by the Dogs' defense. Like, the Grandville defense is looking strong so far, which is obviously what you want to see if you're a Grandville fan, and what you've been expecting to see with the 10 seniors starting on defense for the Dogs. With that much experience on the defensive side, you really do expect to see that strong defense, the strong defensive line. The only junior starter being Motzke. He's an extremely big dude, physical, strong. You expect them to not allow much of a run game. And that secondary of almost all seniors to be stepping up, of literally all seniors, to be stepping up and guarding those Hudsonville receivers as well as they possibly can be.
Yeah, for sure. Like you said, our defense is very senior heavy. I know we saw a couple reps of Carter Jarzma and Brandon Reese coming in. Brandon Reese is 67 and Carter Jarzma is 49. Those are some really good juniors. They both play offense, so they get some reps there. But I think something I talked to Coach about this week, I talked to him really quickly. He said at the end of the game, if we were winning or we're losing by a lot, he wants to get a lot of these newer guys come in to see what it's going to be like starting next year on defense. And I think that's a good point from Coach. I know Coach has surprised me on a lot of plays today, a lot of play calls, so I'm glad because that means we're getting away a little bit away from the wing tee. And I know there's been a lot of criticism on the wing tee. We criticized them a little bit last week, but I think if we slowly get away from the wing tee a little bit, we're going to see a lot of games like this. But I think we've also seen a lot from the wing tee tonight that's helped us out. So I'll say good class to that, but here goes coming back to kick return here. So
Eagles,
last thing you want to say before we go back?
These Dogs just need to keep it up. You need to go score, and the defense needs to stay steady. But we are heading into the second half now. 10-7, Bulldogs. Start of this third quarter. Number 32, 33, Alex Tiltson will be out to tee off the pigskin, and Kuyok will be back to return. Seen a good few runs out of him and have seen that one return so far he's had.
Yeah, if he gets enough people to block for him, he becomes a dangerous runner. Here we go, kicking off. It's going to be recovered.
Deep kick to like the 2-yard line. Kuyok does not get much at all and gets hammered at the 15-yard line. And that is not a great way to start. You almost wondered there if you would have preferred for Kuyok to just let that ball bounce into the end zone.
Yeah, But like I said, if he gets some leverage and he gets some people blocking from him, he can go deep. We saw him go to the 40 a couple times a couple weeks ago, so
Yep.
I don't know. We'll see.
Interesting athlete there. He played soccer for middle school and then decided to pick up football last year. And he's truly like made a name for himself in football. He was a great player last year and just was put on the varsity team this year. It's a long throw to Keegan Kroll, and he drops it in the hands, and Kroll drops it. Would have been a 15, 16-yard gain. Fogelsonger just tells him to shake it off, and the Bulldogs will have a 2nd and 10 here on their own 15.
I love this is the aggressiveness for the first play of the drive. Like, it's pretty beautiful to see there. Especially, we said we like to get away from the wing tee, and Keegan Kroll, if he gets that catch, he only had one guy to beat, really, and he could do that.
Yep. Really athletic dude. I think he was all-conference for track last year. Really strong power lifter, and then a great football player as well. As they give a handoff to Hardiman here. Haven't seen much out of Hardiman as he gets swallowed up for a loss of 1, which sets up a really quick 3rd and 11 here. But regardless, this is not what you really want to see.
Yeah, 3rd 11 is not what you want to see, especially starting off the drive in the quarter with this. This is not what you want to see, but hopefully we can make a good play here and get a first down and we can reevaluate ourselves.
Yep, this Hudsonville defense definitely looks to change some things up after that first half. As Fogelsonger keeps it again for a pass, and they throw it off to Hardiman. That was the play that they almost got that 4th down conversion on against Cass Tech, but it was not a possibility there as a little errant of a throw, and Hardiman had no space regardless if he caught it or not.
Yeah, 4 and out is not what you want to see to start off the drive, especially against a rival.
Yeah, especially with the momentum you've gained from that first half. But now you just got to hope the snap's good by Schackemeyer and the punt's good by Kuyok. Kuyok with the punt.
Had a little bit of struggle with the
Bad bounce. But
3 flags in the field.
There are a lot of flags. From what I saw, it's either going to be on number 12 of Hudsonville or number 15 of Grandville. And I think it was a hard throwdown by number 12 of the Eagles. So I would assume that's going to back the Eagles back around 15 yards just for unnecessary roughness or something along those lines. As they're pointing to the Eagles end.
It might be offsetting flags, too.
Holding. But it'll be 10 yards from the spot.
Yeah, just holding like you guys said. Sorry. But yeah, I think like you said, 12 kind of threw the guy pretty hard to the ground, so I thought maybe we would have saw some unsportsmanlike conduct there. But I think the refs made the right call there.
Regardless, backs them up 15 yards, which is a great draw for the Bulldogs as they only got them to the 35-yard line. But now get to work from midfield. Ben Lake back under center here. 3 wide to the left. Harzma in the backfield. Drops back, looks on the middle. Tight end number 88, his first catch of the game. Will DeYoung, a senior there. Tight end and a linebacker. More primarily a tight end. First time we've called his name tonight as a...
Yeah, like I said before pregame, before anyone was really hearing anything, we said he was one of the guys to watch out for because he is a dangerous player. We haven't seen a lot of him tonight, which is kind of good for the Grandville defense here.
3 wide to the right. Harzma in the backfield once again. Van Lake hands it off to Harzma. Harzma takes it and rumbles down for what looks like 10 yards. But with those Eagles spreading out the defensive line for the Dogs with those 3 wide sets, they're giving Harzma a lot more room to run through that middle of the line. And really, then it's just up to those big D linemen to come through and like try and make a play there.
Trips on the far side of your screen.
Pistol form in the backfield. Van Lyke, Harzma behind him, hands it off to Harzma. Harzma rumbles down and gets 5 yards, taken down by number 6, Braylon Haney.
Also, yeah, we forgot to talk about that. Brandon Haley is back from that ankle injury he had in the first quarter. That's really good to see for this Grandville offense and defense because he plays both ways. Hopefully, I know I talked to someone on the way down, and it sounds like he's going to be playing more of a defensive side of the ball right now, so he doesn't have to overwork himself.
Yeah, especially with how those younger running backs are playing, there's no need to push him in that. Van Lyke with the looks right, but was covered wide, as now he tries to make a play, and he made that play. Number 26, Levi Vanderveen, that's his second catch of the game, had one catch for about 50 yards, and then has been quiet since then, but then gains about 15 yards on that play. How about Van Lyke there? Really extending the play and making something out of nothing.
Yeah, that's very good to see. And just with the pressure from the quarterback there, you didn't know if it was going to happen. Grandville's praying for a sack. Here's the handoff.
This Bulldog defense does not have an answer for anything Hudsonville does so far. Like they get pressure, and then they just end up giving something open downfield. And then Harzma is just destroying that defensive line right now. The Hudsonville O-line is just outworking the Grandville D-line.
Trips on the close side of your screen.
Harzma with another carry. This time, no, he keeps rumbling down, and this Bulldogs defensive line just does not have an answer right now. We talked about it in the first half, and the Bulldogs defense was doing a great job against that Eagles run game. But now, towards the end of that second quarter and start of the third quarter, the Bulldogs really have not had much of an answer.
Yeah, 3rd and 2, you got to make a big stop here, hopefully. Outside run.
Van Lyke picks up the first down here.
It's going to be a 1st and goal for the Hudsonville offense.
This is a long 1st and goal here for the Eagles, which is probably ideal for the Bulldogs, as now they have the most yardage they can work with. Daniel Wiley and Grant Motzke both coming off the field, which is interesting here for the Bulldogs, as they're definitely two of the bigger guys in that front of the D-line.
Yeah, putting DJ Hardiman on the edge. Hopefully you can get a blitz here.
Van Lyke looks to pass, has someone down the middle.
88.
DeYoung, the tight end, and he just walks in. It's a great drive by Hudsonville, but the Dogs have zero answer for that offense right now, and they have to go score because with the way this Eagles offense has started the second half, there is not much of an upside for this Grandville offense.
Yeah, hopefully we see some issues on the snap here or the kick, and we're only down by 3 here.
Tillotson for the extra point. Missed the field goal earlier in the game, but hit his last extra point. Snap good, hold good, kick good.
Yep.
So now that leads up to 14 for the Eagles.
Hey, Matthew, if you're Grandville's offense here, what is the plan going into this drive?
Go score. I don't think you have any other option. You got to go put up a touchdown. I mean, I don't even know if the Eagles got to a 3rd down in that whole possession.
Well, they got 1. But that was in the
maybe
on the 15-yard line, so you were in field goal range.
1 3rd down. I mean, The defense obviously has been great so far this game. I'm not trying to take away anything from them. They're 2 for 4 on stops.
But that was
you just don't expect to see it. You don't expect to see them be able to get down the field that easy.
And that's how they play against most teams. That's how they played against Grand Haven. That's how they played against Jenison. So coming into this game, Grandville was, like I said, they were estimated to lose by 16 points. And now that Grandville's defense is playing pretty hard, hopefully Grandville can come out with this win.
Tillotson on for another kickoff. Kuyok back deep. Last return, he only got out to the 15-yard line, so you wonder if he's going to be a little more careful here. Kicks away. Again in that perfect 5-yard line. Kuyok on the return. Tries to go right and gets tripped up hard and goes to the ground in pain. And 2 players down for the Dogs.
It looked like he hit his head there. Hopefully he's all right, because he's staying on the field, too. That was like a Superman dive he did there. I hope he's all right. That definitely hurt, and I don't know who the other guy was down in that play, but hopefully he's all right, too.
Number 14, Alex Highland, was putting some banter through with the Hudsonville sideline. Transferred to Hudsonville, then back to Grandville. So obviously you can see where some of that's coming from. Hardin with the carry, and he hasn't even been able to get going at all.
Yeah, let's talk about Alex Highland for a second. Quarterback for Grandville his freshman year, and transferred off to Hudsonville to go play basketball, and then came back here to come play football. So a little bit confusing there, but definitely both sides. I don't even know what's the right word. Not hate him, but both sides dislike him, especially Hudsonville.
Oh, yeah, for sure. Focus Longer back under center here, 5 on the line. Focus Longer rolls right, looks for anything open, doesn't have anything, throws it away, and was almost in the reach there for number 25, Sam Redosa, but luckily just was over his head by a little bit, and they were able to throw it away.
It's going to be a 3rd and 9 for the Grandville offense. It's going to be on the 19-yard line. You got to see something big here.
Oh, yeah. You can't go another 3 and out here. You had the 3 and out last time. And especially with Hudsonville gaining momentum, you cannot give them another 3 and out here.
Looks like the play clocks, the time clock is down right now on both sides.
Been having some play clock issues here at Bulldog Stadium, but we haven't ever seen both of them out. Focus Longer with the snap. Gives a little handoff to Hardiman, and no one on the Eagles sideline saw that. Hardiman is at the 50, the 40, the 30, 20, 10. Touchdown, Bulldogs!
Hardiman! And he's been quiet all night, but he ain't quiet now.
That looked like a little shovel pass there for Focus Longer. Hey, Eagles looked like they were expecting a rollout. I thought he was rolling out too until I saw a little flick down. Hardiman was standing, had one man that saw him, got through that tackle, and broke 3 for an 80-yard touchdown, 80-plus yard touchdown. What a great play call there by Stiegel. We've talked about him needing to mix up his play call and not just running every time. And obviously that could be deemed a run, but it's not that simple wing T handoff run. And I think that's definitely how you take the Bulldogs offense to the next level if you're going to stay with that wing T offense.
That was beautiful. Just like you said, we got away from a play. I've never seen that play before, and I've been in Grandville's football program for 2 years. Definitely a newer play here, and I'm glad to see it.
Vasquez with the extra point here, right down the middle, and the Bulldogs are back to a 3-point lead. How about that? We talked about you can't go 3 and out 2 times in a row, and Stiegel pulls a trick out of his hat and says, here, we'll put on another 7.
Yes, a little magic trick there, and you love to see it. Now we got to come out here and play some great defense. We got to stop that run game. We got to stop that pass game. And I think we can do it with the momentum coming back to our side now. for the Grandville offense here and defense, you need that spark plug. And I think if you're Grandville, you're going to look at Daniel Wiley, you're going to look at Wyatt Kalenda, you're going to look at these guys who have the energy even when you're down. So Grandville needs that spark plug, and I think they have it now.
Enter Sandman, a common hype song for Bulldog Stadium, and it is back on right here. Daniel Wiley is trying to hype up that student section. He knows they need to be back into it. Some life was sucked out of that student section there with that easy drive by the Eagles, but that touchdown, that 80-yard touchdown by DJ Hardiman revigorated that student section, the life of that Grandville sideline. And now we got to see what that Bulldogs defense can do.
We're making sure there's not going to be an issue on the sideline there. Looks like a couple people went on the white for a second, and the ref got a little mad, which I don't blame him.
Yeah, especially with how high tension these games are going to be with rivalry games. You don't want to be pushing it a little bit too much. Mulder with the kickoff here. High arc and kick. Out to bounces on the 17-yard line. Gets it to the exactly 30-yard line from what it looks like. And this Eagles offense will have 70 yards to go. And this Bulldogs defense will have 70 yards to defend. What do you expect to see here from Braden Van Lake and the rest of his offense?
I think you're going to run a screen pass here to start off the drive, hopefully get a couple yards here, maybe get a little handoff to Harzma and see how he works there.
Handoff to Harzma. Harzma gets tripped up, keeps on his feet. He's getting pushed down. Got 8 yards. So again, what we talk about with this Grandville defense, they were so strong against that run game the first half of the game, and now they're just, it seems like they've gotten almost too worried about the offensive passing and have just decided to give up Harzma and what he has, because he's a strong running back as he gets another carry and breaks it free all the way to the 50 or 48-yard line of the Dogs.
Looks like a player down in the backfield for Grandville. Oh, it's number 6, Brandon Hanley. His helmet's off. Oh, he
tried to get up by himself, but couldn't. Another senior for these Bulldogs that gets hurt, and you never want to see it, but especially from one of our leaders, Braylon Haney. I mean, you already have Tank Terry out for the season indefinitely, Garrett Naraki out for the season indefinitely. And we've already had injuries to people like Wyatt Kalenda with his broken foot, but now he's back, luckily. And Haney is hobbling off on both feet, which is always a good sign.
Yeah, in the backfield looks like he just got laid on, and I think he twisted his ankle. Not good after the ankle injury he had in the first half, but not to not talk about the injury, but around the Jennison and Caledonia are tied at 7-7 with 2 minutes left in the quarter. Game we've been looking at pretty well, because if Jennison wins, it's a whole different way about where we're at playing for the playoffs. If Caledonia wins, we are most likely going to be at either Hudsonville next week or East Kentwood. Yeah, East Kentwood, yeah.
So who do you want to see win that game?
To be honest, depends on how we play here. I think I would love to go.
Van Lake with a deep shot, and it gets deflected by Keegan Kroll. What an amazing play to reach across the body and swat that ball down. If he does not make that play, that's a touchdown for the Eagles 100% of the time. There was no one left behind him. So what a great play there by Kroll to just be able to hop up that little bit and deflect it with his right arm.
Yeah, where I want to play at, my personal reason, I love to go be away at East Kentwood. East Kentwood's a great atmosphere. But if we are fighting pretty well against Hudsonville here. I would like to see I would like to go into Hudsonville next week and go beat them. But it also depends where we are. We could go play Rockford. We could go into a wild card position and go play.
Long pass here, and it's nowhere near anyone, which is just great for the Bulldogs, as either one of those guys in number 28, Nick Patterson, and number 11, Lawson Weber, were both in the area and both had beat their men. But neither were able to come down with the ball. So this sets up now a huge 3rd and 10 at the Bulldogs' 48-yard line for the Eagles, down 17-14.
Yeah, big 3rd and 10. We got to stop him here. Hopefully get the ball back, milk some time off the clock a little bit, maybe get an extra point, field goal, and we're up by 7.
Van Lake with a handoff here to number 14. No one is near him. He hasn't had a carry all day and just keeps bouncing off tackles. Number 14, that's Owen Harzma. My apologies. He has had a ton of carries all day, and truly no one expected to see him carry the ball there on 3rd and 10.
Yeah, I think you're a little bit confused because he had 2 arm sleeves on during the game, and now he only has 1 on, so definitely.
Yeah, where did that arm sleeve go?
Yeah, a little cold out here. He had 2 arm sleeves, now he only has 1. Maybe he's getting a little too hot on that right arm. I don't know. But Trips on your close side of the screen.
Regardless, first down for Van Lake in the offense. Braden Van Lake back under center. Harzma to his right, 3 to his left. Looks for a pass. No one open, looks to extend.
Holding on the Hudsonville side. It's going to be that play's going to be called back. It's going to be on 85 there.
Looked like either a block in the back, looked like a harsh block in the back, or that holding a goal.
It could be called a horse collar too because he was holding him by the neck. So no matter what, it's going to be a flag on Hudsonville. The ref saw it. We all saw it.
Holding. Here's the call. I believe it's on number 65. So that will set up a 1st and 20 for the Hudsonville offense. Now you need to hold steady against that pass game because, I mean, there's always that possibility that you do end up throwing the ball or running the ball here. But the likelihood is when you need to gain 20 yards, you're going to trust your senior quarterback in Van Lake and hope he can throw to one of those receivers on trips left over there, or one of those tight ends. But they do give it off to the senior running back, Harzma, and Harzma is stuffed at the line but somehow gets around and keeps pushing forward. He gets around 6 yards there from what looked about to be -1 yards. So I think that's like a lot more than -1.
Yeah, for sure. Definitely a lot more than -1 there.
Eventual tackles by number 70, Grant Matsky. Van Lake back under center now. Harzma to his right, 3 to his left. Common form we've seen for the Eagles. Van Lake looks, has his tight end, looks for the big shot. And that is an easy touchdown for the Hudsonville Eagles. Lawson Weber cuts across the field on probably his most practice-like rep he's ever had.
Yeah, he was home.
Definitely some type of crossing route where the defense just lost him a little bit. Obviously, Grandville only plays man coverage. So if you get lost up like that, it's easily going to be a touchdown for the Eagles every time.
We're on the OK Red. Not Hudsonville. Rockford is up 21-0 on West Ottawa.
Tiltson back on for the extra point. Kicks it up and kicks it through. That'll make it 21-17 Hudsonville.
Around the OK Red, East Kenwood is tied to Grand Haven 21-21. That's a surprising score there for me, in my opinion. I did not think Grand Haven would be in this game against East Kenwood.
I would assume East Kenwood is resting some of their players as Hudsonville already has claimed the OK Red, and EK has already claimed a playoff berth. So truly there's not much left at stake for East Kentwood.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, there's not much left at stake, but you want to rest up, especially because you don't know who you're playing next week.
Exactly.
I feel like sometimes, especially in the OK Red, there's 3 teams that you know for sure are going to make the playoffs every year. And the last couple of years, it's been Rockford, Hudsonville, and Grandville. And this year, it has really been East Kentwood, Rockford, and Hudsonville. And Grandville makes playoffs. We saw that Jennison is going to make playoffs, it seems like. But Rockford's going to go play in a wild card place. Looks like they're going to play Kalamazoo Central, as if I was not mistaken. But if we win this game, there's a potential spot that we go into the wild card position too, which is kind of weird. Playoff stuff in high school football is a little bit weird. It's all about little things. East Kentwood could be in that wild card position too if they lose tonight.
Kuyok just lets that kickoff bounce into the end of the end zone. Yeah, but with playoffs coming up, the Bulldogs might have not had their ideal season, just sitting at 500 right now, but they will end up making the playoffs. Around sports, the Blue Jays have the bases loaded in Game 1 of the World Series against the Dodgers in the bottom of the first.
And around sports in Grand Rapids, the Grand Rapids Griffins are up 3-0 on the Manitoba Moose.
Who are you cheering for in that World Series game?
I would love to see the Blue Jays pull it off, but to be honest,
Hope with a good carry.
I don't see the Blue Jays pulling it off, and I have the Dodgers. I have Shohei Ohtani's going to come back and play what he likes to play and win that game, but no, I would like to see Canada win something, because the last time I think Canada won a championship was 2019, the Toronto Raptors in basketball. Actually, sorry. Canada won the Four Nations last year in hockey, and that was a pretty big battle. Here comes Grandville on a 2nd and 4 or 2nd and 3.
Focus longer under center.
Hand off to Hopewell. Hopewell breaks through.
He gets that first down. First and 10 for the Bulldogs on the 33-yard line. Have 67 yards to go to score that touchdown that they need at this point in the game.
For sure.
2:50 and counting left in this third quarter. Honestly, a lot closer of a game than many people thought heading into this Hudsonville game. I mean, I even heard around the school people saying, we're going to get killed tonight. But obviously the Bulldogs did not see that at all. As Kuyok rolls down for 2 more yards.
Yeah, you heard it around the school. You heard it around the school last week, too, when we played East Kentwood. Everyone was like, oh, we're going to lose. It's going to be a blowout. It really wasn't. I was down the last second. We threw an interception, and that's kind of what ruined our game against East Kentwood last week. Here, it's only a 4-point game, and we're almost done with the third quarter.
And we're driving.
And we're driving.
That's what needs to happen here. How about that turnout for the Eagle student section? That flock is it's always a good student section no matter what. Focus longer with the pass here. Looks deep and throws it like 10 yards over Keegan Kroll's head. The only person who had a play on that was number 12, Harrison Phillips. I don't love that play call. I mean, it might catch him off guard, but with how we've been able to move that defensive line in Hudsonville, I would have loved to just stay true to the run game. Obviously, we do talk about throwing the ball more, so I don't mind seeing it very much. But just have a better few routes than.
I just feel like on that play, you had Carter Jarsma running a 15-yard flat, and you probably could have got to him. And maybe if you didn't, then it's not as more dangerous situation than overthrowing the ball 10 yards.
Focus longer, hands it to Hardiman. Hardiman gets hit by a few. Hardiman rolls down and sets up what looks like 4th and 3. And obviously, Stiegel crosses his arms and says, yeah, we're going for this.
Yeah, that's what we want to see here. But I don't know what you're going to do. You're going to throw the ball. You're going to run the ball. This is where usually we're like, oh, you have to throw the ball, or oh, why not run the ball? But this is the position where it's 3 yards. Running could be dangerous. Throwing could be dangerous.
This is probably the biggest play of the game here as we set up focus longer under center. Stay in that wing tee. Hardiman, Kuyok, and Hopewell behind him. Focus long takes his snap. Hands it to Hopewell, and Hopewell gets nothing. That will set up Hudsonville for what could turn into a game-deciding drive.
Yeah, that's not what you want to see. That's why I said it's kind of that position where do you throw, do you run the ball? And if you're Hudsonville there, you clearly saw that it was going to be a run play. There were so many guys in the line. There was only one corner out, one strong safety. They didn't have a middle linebacker. They didn't have an outside linebacker. They were ready for the run there.
Yeah.
And I feel like if you're Grandville there, you call a timeout because that could have been the play. That might be the play of the game right there.
Yeah, a pass definitely would have ruined that. But now the defense has to step up once again. They stepped up a lot in that first half, but now they got to show something as Harzma gets the carry and breaks a few tackles. It gets tripped up by number 8, Cam Leonard. That's another 4-yard pickup there for Harzma, and I would guess he's pushing 80, 90 yards for the game as he gets another carry and is not able to power through, I believe.
Yeah, not at all.
Evan Wyman.
Here comes Grant Maskey coming off, and DJ Hardiman's coming in to fill for him.
Yeah, so the Bulldogs are definitely expecting more of a pass option here for these Eagles. Harzma's still to the right of Van Lake, but they've got 3 wide now. Looks like they have a safety to help out with this defense. Van Lake running around, scrambling. Steps up and breaks a tackle, and that would have held them to a 4th down if they could have made the tackle. And Van Lake tramples all the way to the track. Track isn't very soft, but regardless, he gets a 1st down.
Definitely had to hurt there. Maybe a little advantage for Grandville because he landed on his elbow, so a throwing elbow too. With 3 seconds left on the clock for the quarter. Trips on the far side of the screen.
3 seconds left in this quarter, so it'll be the final play. Van Lake under center with a pistol. I would assume they're going to run it. Hands it off to Harzma. Harzma runs through. 2 Bulldogs stop him for what looks like a gain of a yard. And this will set up the 4th quarter. So how about this? Bulldogs started the half up 10-7. Got stopped. Eagles went down and scored. Put it 14-10. Hardiman comes back, scores a touchdown, 17-14, and the Eagles come back and score once again, make it 21-17. Heading into this 4th quarter, the Bulldogs with their biggest defensive possession of the game, they have to hold them to a field goal. With the way they run that wing tee offense, I do not think they can give up what would be that touchdown that could potentially bury the game.
Yeah, for sure. I want to point out from a guy who's played multiple sports before, there's been a lot of fighting in the backfield after the plays. And like you just saw, I don't know if you guys saw the last play, there was a wrestling match with DJ Hardiman and one of the players on East Kentwood, or not East Kentwood, sorry, Hudsonville, jeez. But they're, like it's a rivalry game. At this point in the game, people are doing not the smartest choices, so watch out for the flags here, unnecessary roughness, unsportsmanlike conduct, sideline warnings. Grandville already has one. Hudsonville, I think, already has one too. Just don't let the other team get in your head. That's what I'm saying. For Hudsonville, don't let Grandville get in your head. For Grandville, don't let Hudsonville get in your head. Don't let it just be like that.
Oh, we had the dog boy race again. It was the Eagle versus the Bulldog, and it was the Bulldog that was victorious. Our patriotic Eagle stayed on the street this time. That's a good sign. Game reset. Let's put 12 minutes on the clock.
Here's the final 12 minutes of the game. Unless we go into overtime. Sorry. Unless we go into overtime. But here it goes. Final quarter.
Final quarter. Van Lake under center. 3 to his right. Harzma to his right as well. Harzma now in motion in that pistol form. Would assume another run with the way they're setting up. Play action, Harzma rolls out. Keegan Kroll cannot catch Van Lake. Throws it to the end zone, and he drops it. What a great play by Van Lake. But number 21, Van Assen, cannot come down with it. What a great job by Van Lake extending the play, beating Keegan Kroll, who is not a slow guy. He is fast to the edge.
Yeah, that's one of the best things about Van Lake here is he has that thing where he can take the time, he can make some moves. He will find that guy, even if it's a risky position, which that one didn't look so risky when he originally threw the ball, but when it came down to the last couple seconds before it hit the receiver's hands, it could have been an interception if the guy bobbled it.
Van Lake under center. Fakes the handoff. And sets up a 4th and inches. Almost an interception. No, they give him the first down. Almost an interception for the Bulldogs there. Keegan Kroll read the route perfectly, but just went straight through his hands. What an unfortunate break for him, especially after how hard he's been playing. 3 to the left. It doesn't look like all of them are covered, so I'm wondering what the Bulldogs are doing here. But another run for Harzma here as he breaks it to the edge, runs down to the 3-yard line, and this is beginning to look bad for the Bulldogs.
Yeah, for sure. This is kind of what happened last week in the East Kentwood game. Is just this last quarter has been really much of the other team's ball. We haven't been a fourth quarter team, a third quarter team. We're really a first half team recently, and it's just that's not what you want to see. It's what we saw against Grand Haven too.
Well, we talked about being a complete team, and Harzma gets stopped. Nope, he gets in. Well, how about the amount of times the Bulldogs have missed him? They get that first contact and can't bring him down.
Yeah, that's not good. Not good at all. And
I mean, you put it quite straightforward there.
Yeah, it's just you've hit him so many times, and it's not one. If 2 guys has to take him down, 3 guys have to take him down recently, and it's not what you want to see. Especially with being so strong in the run game and just stopping them first half. Now it's just not much seen. Hopefully, if you're Grandville here now, you gotta get the block extra point.
10-point game, could make it 11 here with the extra point. Kicks up, and kick is good, so that makes it an 11-point game. And the Bulldogs here are in an interesting spot. They have to go down and score now. 11 minutes left, so they didn't give up too much time there for the Eagles to use. Still possibility to go down and score, get a stop, go down and score again. But it's starting to get into that time where you don't have much of, you don't really have an option anymore to score or not.
Yeah.
You either score and win, or the game's over. Sorry to put it so blatantly, but.
Yeah, question here. Grandville is known to go for 2 points on touchdowns, especially in close games like this. If you're Stiegel, let's say you score the touchdown here, are you going for extra points so you can make that field goal if we stop them? Or are you going for just 1 extra point and don't go for 2?
Definitely go for 2. They put up that 7, it's going to be 24-28. But if they put up the 8, then it'll be 25-28. Which then makes it that field goal to tie it up. And obviously, you want it to keep it a field goal away, not a touchdown away.
Yeah, for sure. Just bobbles the ball there for a second and only gets to the 14, maybe the 15.
So they've got a nice 86 yards to go here. This is not ideal
No, not at
for
all.
these Bulldogs. They've got 86 yards, down 11 points. And we'll see what Jeffrey Fogelslonger and Stiegel have as they roll out for a pass, or perhaps not.
They tried to do another little pitch off to DJ Hardiman.
Yeah, I mean, we saw the strength there by Hardiman. Definitely credited to the Bulldog strength program. Lots of hang cleans, power cleans. Definitely things that get your whole body. I know Deacon Holmes, power clean is quite good. And even though he's just a power lifter, I wouldn't be surprised if he joined football next year. But we see some strength on this Grandville team, and it's definitely a credit to Coach Sherrod, Coach Tuscan, Coach DeVries. But now we got to see it from that line and those running backs.
And off to DJ Hardiman. Just stuffed. It's going to be 3rd and 14. If you're Grandville here, I feel like you got to throw. Just rough.
Yeah,
Grandville.
3rd and 14.
There's not much to say. It's just we haven't come out and played offense really well, besides that one little trick play we had with DJ Hardiman. But
Truly. 9.5 left to go. Truly, you have to pick it up here. If I'm Hudsonville, I'm guessing pass because really don't have much more option. As Kuyok has an opening. Kuyok gets the first down and a little bit more. Good play call there to get the speedy Kuyok off the edge. That's another guy who I know can lift quite a bit.
yeah, for sure. He is really good at lifting, but he also has that speed, and that's what we've been looking for, and that's why he's one of our kick returners. He's actually the kick returner, the punt returner too. So he has the speed, he has the strength, and he's young. And I think he's going to be a great next year. I think he's going to replace some guys that play for us right now. I think he's going to be a starter next year for sure. He's starting right now, and he's doing pretty well. Here we go, another run.
Kuyok looks a little tired as he rumbles down, but gets out of bounds and stops that clock, which is obviously a huge deal for these Bulldogs now as they're playing a little bit of a clock game with 9 minutes left.
Looks like someone's down on the field. It's number 68 for the Grandville offense.
That is not great. Number 68, Cohen Smith. He is a big offensive lineman. The way he's holding his hamstring, I'd assume it's just some type of cramp. And the way the trainers rush out and try and stretch that hamstring, it is what I would assume is a cramp. Obviously, it's hard to stay hydrated for those football players. They've got the hoses on the sideline, but it's not like they have direct water bottles, and it's not like these players get much rest either when they're constantly hitting each other and really don't have much room for a water break when they're looking over film and whatnot.
Yeah, for sure. And I'm wondering if coach is going to take him out for a play and replace him with Grant Matsky, because that's who his backup is, I think. Wait, I could be wrong.
Grant Matsky is in. And Cohen Smith does have to exit the game.
That's what I thought I was right that Cohen Smith's backup was Grant Matsky, which Grant's now playing both sides of the ball now. So now he's got to be well rested.
Last year he was a varsity second string who got some good minutes on the offensive line. This year he got switched to defense and is quite good in that. Fogelslonger with the throw, lost it to Kuyok a little too high. Would have been probably a 5-6 yard gain, but unfortunately it was too high of a throw and not able to bring it down.
Yeah, here comes Cohen back, and Grant's coming out. And clock stopped for a second. And Graham was thinking of a play to hopefully get some yards, and let's get down the field and score a touchdown here.
8:54 to go now. Dogs definitely have to get some more yardage here, get closer. Probably got to score with 6 or more as they hand it off to Hardiman, and he does not. Oh, Kuyok. Kuyok gets a yard, sets up a long 3rd and 9, and this is going to bring up what I would assume is 4-down territory for these Bulldogs. And what I would assume, again, is either going to be a quick one, like, right up the middle to try and get that manageable 4th and down. But I would hope that it's a short pass, maybe let Kuyok or Hopewell or one of those agile running backs get some space and try and make something happen. In the backfield for Grandville is Hardiman at the top, Kuyok in the middle, and Hopewell towards the close side of your screen. Handoff to Hardiman. Hardiman breaks through a few. Hardiman rumbles down, keeps on his feet, gets pushed by a few linemen, and it'll be a yard short, 2 yards short for this Bulldog offense, bringing up a 4th and 2 on the Eagles' 49-yard line.
Yep. And now this is where, do we run it? I think we do. I think we run up the middle, but I think we trust the veteran here of DJ Hardiman to run it again up the middle.
Yep. I mean, saw it last time, tried to run up the middle with Kuyok, and he lost a yard. So really we just got to see what the Bulldog offense can do here. Wouldn't be surprised if they try and beat someone around the edge with Hopewell, or really just anything. Focus longer, rolls out, throws deep to Keegan Kroll. Keegan Kroll catches it, takes it down with him, and the Bulldogs have it at the Eagles' 35-yard line with a 14-yard pickup on that 4th and 2.
What a play, and this is what we want to see. Got 7:15 on the clock, and we're on the 35.
I mean,
make some moves here.
That is a gutsy call there by Coach Stiegel. He decides to air it out there for 14 yards instead of trusting the ground game, but it works. And the Bulldogs pick up a new set of downs on the Eagles' 35-yard line as there is another handoff with Hardiman. Saw him with that good carry earlier, but only gets 2 here, sets up a 2nd and 8. And we just got to keep inching closer to that Eagles end zone.
Yep, now it's just time to not use, keep going tempo plays, and I'm not saying not take our time, but let's get these plays quicker so we have some time on to stop these guys on defense and hopefully come back on the field and get a touchdown here. Well, we got to first get this touchdown here. So don't rush it, but also just remember how much time is left on that clock. Here comes
update in that World Series game. The Dodgers are now up 1-0 in the bottom of the 2nd. Focus longer rolls to his left, looks for a throw, looks down the field, throws it well over what looks like number 49, Carter Jarzma, which it is. And I love to see Jeffrey taking those long shots, but
you're looking at
certain times
here with
certain times it calls for a little bit shorter of a throw, a little bit more of a check down, and I think that's definitely one of them. He would have had to make a pinpoint accuracy, perfect throw there, throwing across his body, and truly not many people in high school can make that throw. So really, I would have liked to see something a little shorter, but regardless, it sets up a 3rd and 8. Focus longer back under center. Hands it off to Hopewell. Hopewell cuts inside. Hopewell gets it down, keeps rumbling, and gets down to the Eagles' 18. How about these 3rd and 4th down conversions in this last drive for the Bulldogs?
Yeah, this is something that we had to work on a little bit from last season and a little bit from the earlier of the season, but this is great to see. On the sidelines, we have our kicker warming up. I think they're maybe expecting there might be a chance we have to get ready for a field goal here, but I don't think so after that play.
Yep. Focus longer back under center now after that 12-yard run. Pulls it, looks for the pass, throws it to Jarzma. Jarzma catches it, rumbles down to the 9-yard line, which will set up a 1st and goal.
Yeah, and I think the best thing about that is the clock slows down for a second. No time, no running clock. Now, Salad's getting a little hyped. Student section still has the energy right now, so hopefully we'll see some of that energy from the student section.
Interesting notice on the sideline. Senior cornerback Jaden Brown for the Bulldogs just had a little meeting with the trash can. Hopefully he's all right as Hopewell rumbles down for it. Looks like a touchdown.
Touchdown, Hopewell. And that is his 3rd, 4th in the season, and he's played 2 games for us?
It might even be more than that. Again, sorry I cut off there a little bit. Hopefully Jaden Brown's okay. Seemed to be a little sick. Went to the trash can and threw up a little bit. But Hopewell there brings the Bulldogs back. It's a 5-point game, and Eagles going for 2, trying to get it within 3 points.
Yeah, this is exactly what we talked about a couple minutes ago. Do we go for 2, go for 1? I say we go for 2. You said go for 2, so let's see what they do.
I mean, at this point, we should just be coaches.
Hey, Powder Puff coach here, and guess what? The
NFL teams, I'm open. I'll give you my number if you would like to reach out. Focus longer back under center now at the 3-yard line for this 2-point conversion. Spread out T, rolls out, looks for the throw. Keegan Kroll
catches Keegan Kroll.
What a play by Keegan Kroll. Jumps over the Hudsonville defender and brings it in within 3 points once again. And now you have to trust that defense for the Bulldogs. They haven't had many stops. They had the first 2 in the game, and now they need another one right here.
Here we go, 25-28. It's anyone's game now. Grandville's defense has to get a stop, has to come on offense and win and beat this Grandville or Hudsonville defense, and this is our game, and we beat the undefeated. But we have to have this Grandville defense do it for us.
Seeing some head top emotion from that student section after that Keegan Kroll catch. Obviously, he's a very liked dude on homecoming court. I think he was one of the top 3 in voting for homecoming king. Obviously, Daniel Wiley won that. But has had a great game today. I know he's had a touchdown. He's had a few good defensive plays. Really having a great day for him on his senior night.
You gotta love to see it. It's great. Now it's time for our defense to make a stop here and question. Onside kick?
No. Okay. No. Look at where the Eagles are gonna get it if we
I know
go
you.
onside.
I don't think we should do an onside kick, but we know Steagle's a little bit risky. We saw what he did against Cass. We saw what he did against Rockford, even though we were losing to Rockford. There was no chance we really had that game.
22, Blake Helton running in now. Maybe he's wondering if they are onside kicking it. But regardless, there's 5.5 minutes left. We could have Mulder just kick it to the 20-yard line, and that is what he's going to do. Ripping at the ball there was number 8, Cam Leonard, but to no avail, as the Eagles offense will start it off at the the Eagles' 38-yard line. If that were me there, I would have liked to see Mulder put that on a little bit more of a line, try and land it on the 20-yard line, not kick it with air at the 20-yard line. If you maybe get a roll, get a couple bounces, make it a hard return, but not where it would roll into the end zone or out of bounds.
Yeah, for sure.
Van Lake back under center here, 3 left. Harzma to his right. Harzma gets the carry. Harzma rumbles through. He gets tripped up by number 5, Wyatt Kalenda, and eventually gets wrapped down by a bundle of dogs. Sets up 2nd and 7.
Just great play by Wyatt Kalenda there. First game back in a couple weeks, and good to see him back here, making a big impact for us for sure. There's no ball on sideline. DJ Hardiman just got checked out by the athletic trainer. Hopefully he's all right. Looks like he is all right, so that's good to see.
Van Lake in the shotgun, 3 to his left, Harzma to his left, now to his right. Some motion in the front of the defensive line and the offensive line. Harzma with another carry. Harzma goes outside. Harzma has 1 man to beat. Luckily got tripped up, but Bulldogs have to be expecting run, and I feel like once you expect a run, the Eagles are just going to go up top and blow this game open once again. I mean, 4 minutes and 27 seconds and counting, and the Bulldogs are running out of time to get a stop here. Obviously, you saw the few stops in the start of the half, or start of the game, but the Bulldogs defense hasn't been as apparent since then. And they truly need to step up here and figure it out, because they have to get a stop here. It's a non-negotiable. Van Lake under center here. Another handoff to Harzma.
Flag on the play.
Looks like a false start. Yep, false start on the Eagles. So that gives the Dogs a little more of a chance. Sets up a 1st and 15 with 3 minutes and 58 seconds left. But
Are they gonna put the time back on the clock here?
I do not believe so. 3 minutes, 58 seconds left. 1st and 15. Ball on their own 45. First down is in the Bulldogs territory at their own 40-yard line. So the Eagles have some room to make up. Harzma to the left of Van Lake. Oh, Harzma to the right of Van Lake. 3 to the right of Van Lake out wide. Van Lake in that shotgun form. Corners back, expecting a pass. Still give it off to Harzma. Harzma gets swarmed and gets a yard.
Looks like a timeout. Siegel having a little bit of a discussion with the referee there.
2nd and 14 here. So this is a best case scenario here for the Dogs. Force the Eagles into a pass scenario, and obviously if the pass drops into the ground, then that means the Bulldogs won't have to use another timeout. So, I mean, we'll see if Brent Sandy keeps his offense on the ground. But really, this is the ideal situation for the Bulldogs. You get them to get that false start. Obviously, it's not ideal to be down in the game and have to come up with a stop. But 2nd and 14, you've got 2, maybe 3 downs. You have to stand. And you could potentially give your offense the ball back. I mean, regardless if you give them the ball back without scoring, it's job well done by the defense.
Yeah, for sure. I think Siegel's talking about the clock issue there. I've been seeing it recently. Just the clock keeps running on a first down when it should not be running. That's taking away at least 8 seconds off the clock when they should leave those on there. I know there was issues a couple other games this season with that.
1 wide right, 2 wide left. Van Lake under center. Harzma to his right. Harzma play action. Van Lake throws wide open down the middle, and that is not what you can have for the Bulldogs. Big hit there by Brecken Mann, but for the Bulldogs offense, there's not much, or Bulldogs defense, there's not much to be celebrating, as you just gave up a 17-yard completion. And at this point, you're getting close to where you might not have much of a chance anymore, as this clock continues to roll with 3 minutes and 15 and still counting.
Yeah, you're going to hope for an incomplete pass here or something, but they're going to run the ball these first 2 plays, hopefully. And just, that's not what you want to see.
Tight end in motion. Harzma switches sides. Expecting a run to the left now for Harzma.
That hole is opened up pretty wide there.
Harzma takes the handoff, gets tripped up. Harzma stays on his feet, then gets swarmed by a pack of Bulldogs. Back to the 36-yard line.
Grandville.
Timeout by Stiegel. Obviously, this is your last chance to hold him. 2 minutes and 49 seconds left. 2nd 11, 36 yards. You got to force a turnover, got to force a 4th down and out or a field goal attempt. Really, you don't have any more chances. This is your last chance here if you're the Bulldogs.
And our 4th and final pizza goes to Callie Miga from Grandville Elementary.
So really, if you're the Bulldogs, this is what, the 3rd-ranked team in the state?
Yes, 3rd-ranked team in the state here.
And you're really, it's not a bad showing by the Bulldogs. 3-point game with 2 minutes and 49 seconds. Even if they don't end up getting a stop and don't end up winning this game, this isn't a terrible look heading into playoffs. Obviously, you might have to go into Hudsonville and try and win a game in playoffs, but if you get a good draw and you end up not having to play Hudsonville, you've put on a strong showing and made whoever you're playing a little more timid of that Bulldogs offense and Bulldogs defense.
Yeah, let's talk about Grandville's opponents this year. Week 1 played most winning program in the country, I think, is Muskegon. With
yep.
over, I think, now over 800 wins. You go Week 2 plays Cass Tech. That's #1 team in the state. After that, you play a couple of your division rivals, including East Kenwood, Hudsonville, Rockford, West Ottawa, Jenison. All strong teams there.
Van Lake with a design keeper. Van Lake rumbles down. Van Lake is putting the nail in the coffin. Once that ball gets set, there will be 2 minutes and 42 seconds and counting, unless Stiegel uses timeout, which I believe he did not. So now this is just a clock game. Bulldogs have 1 timeout left. They have not enough time, is the truth. 40-second play clocks. Harzma gets stuffed, but again, there's not a ton of time left for these Bulldogs to be playing with.
Timeout, Grandville.
Stadium on the Grandville side seems to be emptying up a little bit. Bulldog faithful are not being very faithful anymore.
Oh, yeah, for sure. But student section's actually a little bit electric right now. I wouldn't say too electric, but better than what we've seen some parts of this game.
Yep, obviously the student section is going to try and do whatever they can to get in the Eagles' head, maybe force a fumble on the snap. Maybe the Bulldogs can get lucky and get something. But really, it's just, can you get the stop and can you score? And what are you going to have, 40 seconds?
Very, very long time out here. 0 timeouts left for Grandville after this, and I feel like you got to get a stop here.
.207 left in this game. Obviously, it's 40-second play clocks. Once the ball is downed, whenever an Eagle gets put down. So at the most, the Bulldogs will have about 40 seconds to figure out how to go down and score. And obviously that is not ideal with the way the Bulldogs offense runs. But we'll see what happens here. I know we've said it a lot. There's a lot of last chances, but this really is the last chance. Van Lake with the design keeper. Van Lake runs through, and he gets hit by the referee, which might have stopped him from getting the first down, and it is going to be a 3rd and inches. What an interesting play there. I think the ref helped with a tackle. Are we going to give him an assist, or what's going on with that?
Hey, let's give him an assist. Let's make him happy. Let's give him something on the score sheet. We don't see much of the referees helping out there. Not saying he helped out there, but
he did help out.
He helped out, yeah, for sure.
3rd and 1 here. Bulldogs, I would assume, look to stack the box. Minute and 20 ticking.
I think the best thing that can happen here is Hudsonville tries to go for a screen pass, and they miss it, and we got
a lot of time. But I don't assume that happens. And even if it does, what's the likelihood that the Eagles don't go for it on 4th down on the 9?
I don't know, man. Just got to find something here. Just got to be faithful. Got to be faithful.
He didn't get it.
He didn't get him.
Off the edge, I don't know if you could see it from the right side of your screen. Number 3, Josh Crater, came flying in. Obviously an extremely fast player. But now we're going to see, are they going to go for it? Are they going to try and ice the game, or?
Because there's going to be less than 20 seconds left.
They have an option here. They either kick the field goal and go up more than that field goal and trust their defense. But at this point, the Bulldogs are going to have 20 seconds left in the game.
Yeah, Hudsonville's going to call timeout right here, and it's going to be 20 seconds left in the clock.
Timeout Hudsonville.
Ooh. What? Sorry.
Timeout Hudsonville.
Yeah.
But
yeah, that's what I meant. Sorry, not Grandville. But yeah, just 0 timeouts left for Grandville, 1 timeout left for Hudsonville, and it's time. This is the play. Do they go for the field goal? Do they miss the field goal?
we'll see here.
This is a struggle.
I assume that the Bulldogs will end up going all out no matter what, if it's a field goal or a attempt to go for it on 4th down. But even if you do get the ball back, what do you do here as the Bulldogs offense? You have 20 seconds left, and it's going to be around 18 when you get the ball back. Somewhere,
if you get the ball back.
Yeah, I mean, you get the ball back with around 15 to 20, somewhere in the 15 to 20 second range. Obviously, it's not going to be 20 seconds. So 19 to 15 range.
With 0 timeouts, too.
0 timeouts.
Yeah.
You're gonna, if you get the ball back here, you're going to have 91 yards to go at maximum.
And they're going for it.
They are going for it with 3, 4 in the backfield. This is the game right here. Extend that up, put some motion on the line. Would not be surprised if they go out to the right now and like a little hezzy. Harzma does not get it. The Bulldogs are going to have a chance in this game with 15 seconds left. They have no timeouts, but they have a kicker who can kick from 45 yards. So we're going to see here what can happen.
15 seconds. The crowd is wild. You just have to get a field goal here, and you go to OT.
Obviously, it's not. You just have to get a field goal. That is a hard, tall task to accomplish. Obviously, you can't take any sacks. Any sack end the game. Any inbounds play ends the game because you're not going to have enough time for anything else. So you either have to get out of bounds or you have to get a first down, stop the clock, spike the ball. But truly, the Bulldogs still have a chance with how they've been passing the ball. 15 seconds, DJ Hardiman out wide. 2 back, Vogelslonger looks for the pass, throws it to Hardiman. Flicker over to Kroll, 10 seconds left. 12-yard play, but that's not going to be enough for the Dogs as they used 5 seconds for 12 yards. They're going for it all now. They're not going for a field goal anymore.
No, they're not.
10 seconds to get to the 35-yard line is very fast. Where I would not assume is even possible. But regardless, back in that wing T form, Vogelslonger under center. Don't go away from that wing T form. Crater out wide. I would not be surprised if they go for a long pass with Crater. That'll be the game. Bulldogs don't even try and run another play. Vogelslonger tripped up in the backfield. And that'll be the game as the Eagles come away with the win, 25-28.
That is very good for Hudsonville. Has an undefeated regular season. Grandville here with just multiple hard opponents and just barely losing to them. I definitely want to say it's going to be a hard battle on Halloween for whoever Grandville plays, and good luck to Hudsonville the rest of the season for sure.
Yeah. Obviously never want to drop one to Hudsonville. But good game. Hudsonville was expected to win by 16, only won by 3, and there's a lot of plays that could have changed that final score.
For sure.
Because truly that game came down to just a few plays. We're going to see what Grandville can do in this playoff position now. We'll see if they have to go back and try and beat Hudsonville. But regardless, it's a strong showing by the Bulldogs. Obviously not your ideal. You're not ideal ending. You obviously want to overpower that the Eagles 9-0 now. So truly, it's a unfortunate way to end for the Bulldogs. But really, there's not much more to say besides a pretty strong showing for the Bulldogs.
Yeah. I think the big thing to say right now is playoff picture comes out Sunday. I was just informed that there is a very high chance that we actually host, and that is very crazy. We would have to be the wild card spot to host, or we would have to, for some reason, we would have to play Jenison here, which is kind of weird because I don't feel like we should be hosting this game in the playoffs, especially after we lost to Rockford, East Kentwood, Hudsonville. But
a losing record and hosting a playoff game would be interesting.
Yes, and it would be really weird if we would host. We would have to either host Kalamazoo Central, which I haven't seen us play them in years, or we would be hosting Jenison. There's also other chances of we hosting based off other games, but based off what I'm seeing right now, that's what we'd be looking at. But the playoff picture comes out around 6 p.m. Sunday, so you'll know then.
Yep.
But this game right here, and just like I said earlier, most of the time when we play Hudsonville, it comes down to a field goal, and it really did here. It came down to 3 points.
Yep.
It wasn't 16 points. Still, unfortunately, lost this game, but if I'm
covered the
Grandville,
spread if we're betting.
Yeah. Yeah, but if you're Grandville here, keep your head high. Like, you played a great first half. You played a pretty good fourth quarter, too. I just feel like you struggled a little bit in the third quarter, and that's where I think if we changed a couple plays there, it would be a different score game, and we might be walking out here with a win.
Yep, I believe we led up 2 touchdowns in that third quarter, and we led up 2 touchdowns the rest of the game. So obviously you can't do that if you want to come in and beat a team like Hudsonville. Obviously not how you want to end your senior night for all these seniors who have put so much time into the Grandville football program. But regardless, we thank them for all they've done for the program, and we wish
for sure
the Grandville obviously the best for their upcoming playoff run.
Yeah, for sure. There's still a chance we don't make playoffs, but I don't see that happening. It would have to be so many little factors of that, which I want to say thank you to the seniors, and I want to say thank you to the seniors who unfortunately were out tonight and had to watch these last couple weeks.
Imagine that game with Tank Terry.
Yes, or even Garrett Naraki, our tight end, and just there's so many guys on this team that put it all and sometimes have to put their buy-in line and they get hurt and unfortunately just have to sit out, and it's just hard. It's hard to, especially for a guy who's been injured before through sports, and I believe you've been injured through a couple sports too. It's hard, especially when you're playing against a rival opponent on senior night and knowing that this could possibly be your last home game, this could be possibly your last football game, and not playing it. But fortunately for Tank Terry, he's going out to Ferris State. I think Garrett just officially said he's not going to play football anywhere, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah.
So that's unfortunate for him, but I know that football is not his first love. I think it's lacrosse is his first love, and hopefully he's going to go somewhere for lacrosse. Hopefully we'll see that. I think that's why he really didn't commit anywhere to football. It's because he said that he would rather go play lacrosse in college, and especially with the guy who's dealt with injuries the last 3 years, it's hard for him to say that football is his first love when he doesn't play much of it, which he's a great dude and all. Just like you said, thank you to the seniors, and it means a lot to them, and it means a lot to us as fans and broadcasters that they put it all on the line. And we'll just What else is there to say about this game? It's just there's so
nothing
many
left.
there's
really.
so many highs and lows of this game. A lot of things to look forward to. Like our schedule, like I said, first week we played Muskegon, the most winning program. We played Cass Tech next week, which is the best team of the state right now. After that, I think we played West Ottawa. We beat them. Just there's so many teams that it can go either way. I think the one game, if you're going to look at our schedule and be like, wow, that's rough, I think it's the Rockford game. I'm going to be honest with you. There's no way in heck you should be putting up 0 points against Rockford, especially that's one of our biggest rivals. I'd say our second biggest rival, but hey. Now Hudsonville has an undefeated season, and I'm happy for them, but it's time to really show what happens here.
Yeah.
So, hey.
I mean, we'll see what happens in playoffs. This will most likely be our last broadcast game for this football season. So we thank you for everyone watching and sticking with us through all our technical difficulties this year. We hope we've been enjoyable to listen to and that it's helped watch the game if you weren't able to attend. And we thank you for tuning in once again tonight. And really, unless we end up hosting another game, we look forward to seeing you guys next year, as we'll both be back.
Hey, basketball season, though. You got basketball season.
I'll be playing.
Oh,
so.
yeah. I'll be around for basketball season. We are working on getting some lacrosse games we're going to broadcast in the spring. We're talking about maybe broadcasting a baseball game. We're still working on some of that stuff, but keep tuned with us. I know that soon I think we're maybe making a Instagram page, so you can start following us there, and we'll talk about and put some clips on there from our commentary and just big plays. So I think all of you guys who watch, even the little things, it means a lot to us, and we're very happy.
Yep. Well, we thank you again for tuning in, and I'd like to say good night. Thank you for watching.